And then we sat there, cleaned up as best we could, and then waited till a jeepney or they had these little buses, maybe hold 40 people. And so then the bus took us to where the road was cut off. So then you get out of the bus and you have to take off. We wore sandals like Tivas, but this is deep mud. It's like a soup, and if you leave your sandals on, and you'll just rip them off. So you have to go barefoot, and there's rocks and all kinds of stuff down there. So we made our way across. And then we go into another vehicle that's waiting on the other side. You hope something's waiting there. And then, but none of these things leave until they're full. Because, I mean, if they leave and there's only half filled, then that means that they're out the half of the fares that they would get. So you sit there and you sit there and you sit there and you hope somebody comes across the mud and so that you can leave. Well, we finally made it about, 5 hours later. And of course, everybody else having the same problem. So the food, we were able to get about 10 pounds of rice. We were able to get some dried mung beans, and some ramen noodles. And the most important thing, we were able to get, what is gold in the jungle, do you know? What is like gold? Huh? Well, yeah, we had drunk all our water up, but no, it's toilet paper. I mean, you can barter that for gold. Well, for us, I mean, if you don't have it, then there's leaves and sticks and a few other things that you could use, but for us, it was solid gold. Well, we were out of toilet paper, so Dawn was able to find 6 rolls, and she tied them to the outside of her backpack, and we started back. Yeah, like I said, we had drank all the water we had brought. We got back on a bus, came back to the break, waited. By this time, the other people had come, so it was even more soupy. And so we barefooted it onto the other side, tried to clean up. And of course, there's a bus sitting there, but we were the first there. So we sat and we sat and we sat, and it had stopped raining, but the sun is beating down on this metal bus, and there's no electricity, there's no fans, no nothing. We're getting hotter and hotter, and I said, Dawn, did you bring any more water? No, Tim, I don't have any water. After a while, she said, Tim, did you bring any water? No, I'm out of water. So we just sat there and just feeling miserable and wondering what in the world we had come there. Why are we doing this voluntarily, you know? Well, this guy, the bus driver, was a genius. Somewhere, I don't know how, but he had found some ice. And he had one of those, like a Walmart styrofoam cooler. And he had put some Coke bottles in there, bottles of Coke, and he didn't do any water, but just Coke. And put it full of ice. And then while we were sitting there, he pulled out a Coke bottle and set it on the lid. And we're back there looking, wow, that looks so good. You know, and it's got some ice crystals stuck on it, you know. It was really cold. And I was going, Don, do you have any money left? No, we spent it all. I said, Tim, did you get any? You have any money in your pocket? No. Sure looks good, doesn't it? We were just imagining what that would be. You know, we didn't really drink Coke, but at that point, when you're thirsty enough, you'll drink anything. And it's ice cold, you know. We hadn't had ice in months. Well, there was this old man. It was just the 3 of us that were with us. He was in the back. I didn't even know he had heard us. But he walks to the front. I didn't know what he was doing. And he talks to the driver, and he comes back, and he hands us this Coke. Oh, we rolled it around on our foreheads. We actually did that until it was warm before we drank anything, and then we'd split it. Okay, you get a little more here. So we split it evenly. I mean, 25 years later, I can remember it clear as day that this totally unexpected. And he said, you know, I know what you're doing. I know you're here helping my people, and I just want to say thank you. And our mouths just dropped open like a stranger, never seen him before, never seen him since. Afterwards, it's just unbelievable that somebody would be that nice at that time when we were feeling so discouraged. It seemed like right then, a big group of people came and the bus took off and we were able to, get back home fairly shortly. But the unexpected gift that somebody had felt moved to give us just stuck in my mind. And God has done the same thing. How many people were really waiting for God to show up, when Christ was born? I mean, just a handful out of the whole world. Talking about an unexpected gift, that's an unexpected gift. And I want to talk a little bit more after we hear some of your guys' unexpected gifts. Does anybody just share a few sentences, or it can be whatever you want that kind of stands out in your mind that reminds you of an unexpected gift?
Well, the unexpected gift came actually this week.
Oh.
Okay. Friends of ours, Dale and Suzanne Leeds, came through LJ this week on the way to Hayesville, where they were going to spend Christmas, and called and said, we want to see you guys. So Donnie and I happened to be in the car at the same time when she got the phone call, and so it's the gift of friendship, because they
Yes.
moved away, and we had a lot of history. And it was good to reconnect with them. So that
Excellent.
was a gift.
Thank you. Anybody else? Paul.
It was before we were married. One day, a big truck pulls up in front of our house. What do we get in here? And the guy rolled off a big console record player. Had the speakers in there and everything. It's not like the compact ones we have today, but it was a piece of furniture. Good grief, where's that coming from? It says, from Lila. Say, what? Well, then that was only half of the gift. They rolled the other half off. Looked like the same thing. It was a big old stereo system. Oh my goodness, I was into stereo at that time. And the third gift on top of that was a big long play record of some of my favorite composers like Liszt, Beethoven, and Bach. And I heard these folks in stereo. The unexpected gift. Beautiful. So I married her.
Well, it's a good thing you did.
I don't know if this is such an unexpected gift, but I'm considering it an unexpected gift for Beth and I both. She was sitting over there, and she had her coat up over her shoulders, and then she got up to the piano, and I went over there because I had to get my music stand and get ready to play, and so I sat right where she was sitting. And then I got the music stand and came back, and I thought, well, I'm going to just fold her coat and lay it across the pew. And I looked, and right there, where we both had been sitting, was a needle stuck in the pew with thread on it. And I consider that an unexpected gift that we didn't get hurt.
Okay. Wow. So the unexpected gift could be actually not getting the expected gift. Yes.
Okay, I was handed the microphone.
Okay.
I guess my most unexpected gift was my mom died in January of 94. My dad died on Christmas Day of 96. Since they had both passed away, there were 6 of us, 5 living. We had one brother that just wouldn't have anything to do with any of us. He was just bitter and angry, and we didn't know why. Well, through the years, anytime anybody needed to tell them about a wedding or a funeral or anything like that, my oldest brother and my sister made me do it because they said I was the nice one in the family. But I'm the one that he had the most problems with. He was 8 years old when I was born, and he didn't want a little sister. So anyway, there was something going around on Facebook one time about brothers. So I posted it to my oldest brother, and I added my own little stuff to it, like thank you for being there for me and for stepping in as the parent when Mom and Dad died. And I sent it, and a little while later up comes this thing that says, you know you've got more than one brother.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And so I said, yeah, I do. I said, but I can't really base anything recent on that because we haven't talked. I don't know anything about you. It's been these 20-some years. And so that slowly got him communicating with the rest of the family. And that's been a couple years ago. We actually got to see each other. My ex-brother-in-law was passing away, and we all kind of got together to show support for Robert. But that was the first time we'd seen each other since my dad died.
Wow.
And so now it's gotten to where he calls my oldest brother every day, and I've told them, but my oldest brother reminds me of Bruce and Tim. Like when you went up to the nativity scene today, that was David, through and through. He's got mannerisms like him. But Larry and I are getting to where we're talking and sending gifts and, just
That is a blessing.
reacquainting, yeah. So
Awesome.
I bless God. I praise God because he blessed my family and he's getting it back together.
That is an unexpected gift. Bruce. Oh, Jerry? Yeah, go ahead, bring it to Bruce. Wow, that is an unexpected gift. Oh, thank you. That's a real gift. Bruce.
Well, I have 2 actually, but the first unexpected gift is now 23 years old.
We won't go to that gift, no.
She was unexpected, but she's changed our lives.
Yeah.
It's been a gift. How can you
Mostly.
say that? How else can you say it? It's been a blessed gift. Another one is my older brother, Randy. He's 5 years older than me, and he left home when I was about 12. Got married really early and left home, and we didn't, we lost connection. We saw each other from time to time, but, it was a 12-year-old and a older brother, and he's married and has a child, and, he moved to Colorado, and we didn't see him all that often. And his life went in certain paths that I know he regrets, which even kind of distanced us a little bit more. Well, the long story of that is in his later years, just recently now, I'd say about 4 years ago, he came back to the Lord. And ever since that, he and I have been closer than we've ever been. We talk regularly, and we share, and there's a connection there that we've never had before, and it was unexpected, and it was a gift, and it still is.
Awesome. Anybody else? Lila?
We received a gift this week from our son-in-law. He had worked for 4 years putting pictures together, and he sent us memory sticks with pictures of our 2 grandsons and of our daughter, and it brought back so many memories. The times we had spent in Canada with her and the kids, the time we went to France and to Austria with them, and it was just, we watched them on the computer, and it was just marvelous to see all of the pictures of Sandy that we haven't seen in a long time.
Wow.
And I mean, there's pictures there to make you laugh, there's pictures there to make you cry. And watching the boys grow up, it was just amazing the other day.
That's a really good, unexpected gift. Well, thank you, girls, for doing the running around. If you have your Bibles, turn to Isaiah 49, and just a few words to conclude. You guys preached the sermon. I was instructed by somebody to make this very short. So, Beth, I'm going to make it short. She's my sister. I can do that. Isaiah 49, verse 50, starting with 15. 13. Shout for joy, you heavens. Rejoice, you earth. Burst into song, you mountains. For the Lord does what? He comforts his people and will have what? Compassion or, mercy on his afflicted ones. He comforts his people. Why was Christ sent here? To comfort us. The unexpected gift was here for us. It wasn't for him. And, I know you've heard this before, but I tried to get through to our people in the jungle. The difference between God and human is it's like, I can go over here and step on an ant, and, I'm like God, and the ant is like us. God is so much bigger than we are, but yet he'd be willing to become an ant to save an ant. It's just more than we can, than our minds. It just boggles our minds why he would do that. He could make a whole new world, no problem. But no, he loves this little pinprick in this humongous galaxies of billions and billions and billions of planets and stars, and he loves this little pinprick enough that he would willingly come here and change himself forever. It wasn't a temporary thing. He's still God human, just like what he was on earth. He can't go back. Verse 14, but Zion said, the Lord has forsaken me. Zion meaning Israel. And he's saying, well, look at all this bad stuff that's happened to us. God has forsaken us. The Lord has forgotten me. And what is God's reply? Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. You do hear of sometimes normally, a mother would never forget her child. But with sin in the world, sometimes we hear about that, where, mother tries to or does kill the baby. But God's saying, even if the mother forgets her baby, I will not forget you. She may forget, I will not forget you. And then here, see, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are ever before me. Now, don't worry about the walls. The walls are basically what most scholars think back then, safety was in where? It was a walled city. So these walls around make you feel safe. God's saying, I'm like a wall around you. I'm keeping you safe. But what does he mean by I have you engraved on the palms of my hands? Okay, yeah, he was crucified and the nails went through his hands. True, he doesn't have Tim and Judy and all these physically written on there. But let me ask you, can God do anything? Can he take the scars off of his hands? Why doesn't he? Does God forget? So he doesn't need reminding. Why would he leave the scars on his hands? Huh? To remind us and all created beings, because we're not up there right now, so it's not doing you and me any good right at the moment. But don't you think that he looks down and kind of muses and thinks about maybe when he was a baby, and he remembers things that happened on earth, and he remembers the cross, does he not? And I think he does. And when we get to heaven, we can look at the hands that have been damaged because of us. And he's doing it out of love, is he not? He wants us to remember what he's done. Does that make him vain? What does it make him? Huh? Yeah. Huh? It's a loving father. Yes, it's a loving father. And it's not, I don't think the loving father wants to bring up all the bad things that have happened. In eternity, time tends to blur things, maybe. At least humanly, time seems to blur things. But I think there's a reason why he keeps those scars, and that is because in eternity, we can still remember what he did for us in that unexpected gift. That just is very hard for me to understand. And I think that's the whole reason why what we should be remembering on this Christmas. Our closing song is